So I was a young child, 5 years old, came home from school, from pre-1A. When I got there, I saw all the groceries on the porch, all the groceries. And I looked in the groceries to see what it is, to see if my mother bought the things I like. And then I went into the door. I tried to open the door, and the door is locked. Porch, and I hear my sister, Sarachana. I hear her screaming, like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." It's like crying, like as a young child. I grab onto the windowsill, I pull myself up, and I could see all the way across someone laying in the hallway on the floor. I jumped down, and I was like, there's someone, a body laying there on the floor.
Well, my wife was, she's a very vivacious person. Yeah, we just had a wonderful life together, you know. And suddenly all what we strived for was taken away in a few seconds.
Even though it's 30 years, but I see it like it's today. It's hard even to describe.
There are defining moments in life which are unforgettable. Like you remember where you were when you heard it, you remember the things that were around it. The tragic passing of Pesya Leah Lapine stands out in this community as something that touched the heart and the soul of everyone that was here.
I had the schus, the privilege to stand literally right behind the Rebbe for a long time. The anguish on his face, seeing this levaya, it was emotionally overwhelming.
The Rebbe was usually very much, he controlled his feelings. You could see he was like shattered, as if it was his own child. And though the Rebbe didn't say anything, he was just standing, with the dignity, malchus.
It was accentuated by the Rebbe's hurt and passion, which everyone was able to see so vividly that I would say the other time when we experienced this was when Rebbe Tzimchana passed away.
Gave me something to strive for, I guess, What showed me that the Rebbe was so, concerned,
A few days later, it was Thursday, was the last day of Shiva. It was Tes Adar, the 9th of Adar, Tes Adar Rishon, Tov Shin Nun Beis, Parshas Tetzava. That night, after Ma'ariv, nobody expected the sikha that came.
Those words. Remember, the whole approach of the Rebbe those years and months was all about Geula. We're coming to the Geula and we finished everything, Geula. And now suddenly this.
The Rebbe said things about her death, about her children, about her family, that to hear from the Rebbe was very, very unusual.
And the hurt was something that was so real. When the Rebbe spoke about the Yosemite remembering their mother and asking, where is she? You knew who the Rebbe was talking about.
Schaße kommt noch so in dem Kiddush Hashem Ayina, das letzte wegen einer jünger Mutter, was losen kleine Kinder, aber die kleinen Kinder und nach Bänkchen Lachrei kamen schon im Lariches Jomim, schon im Tevis, Eibchas Vesholem, es hat sich noch verhalten, die Minien, von der Kiste waren noch Schechen die Opfer, und die haben die Bänkchen nicht. Noch sehr Mutter und nachher Tibel gaben sehr Kinder, dann die Bänken nicht von der Mannes, von der Mutter, was sie dann noch ist bei ihr gewähnt der Linie von Kiddush Hashem Barabe.
A mother's biggest pain is that she can't be there for her children. And when will the children see this mother again? So these words were very, very disturbing. It shook everybody up. What for me, that I remember till this day, that I still, every time I think about it, I never think the Rebbe ever said these words before. So the Rebbe is speaking like, what does the Eibishter want? What does God want?
The Rebbe actually interrupted himself. He started to say something about Hashem, and he interrupted himself, and he said, Al ken yiyud v'recha ma'atim. Many words about this are inappropriate, and he said that Eibishter wird sich allein einkennen.
And he didn't finish, but the mere fact that he would bring that, and I said, why would the Rebbe say that? That's like putting himself on the line. He's quoting a verse that says, don't speak. And then why would he say that?
Just thinking back and the tears that come to your eyes when you think about what the Rebbe said and more than that, how the Rebbe said it.
Als ich gehe durch und noch ein Tag und noch ein Tag und noch eine Woche und noch eine Woche und noch eine Rege und noch eine Rege. Und beschaß mir sagt Atmosphäre, ich schreibe mir Atmosphäre, mir sagt Atmosphäre, mir tracht Atmosphäre. Bechule, was kommt da reis bepeil, beschaß bepeil kommt zu noch eine Linie von Kiddush Hashem bepascht. Aber man nimmt zu eine jüdische Neshome. Wir nehmen es zu von ihren Kindern, weil das ist aber eine Gehe zur Mutter, nach mehr Messias Nefesh, wie Bishaas Retzach mit Messias Nefesh von ihr allein, Bishaas Retzach aber Messias Nefesh, als sie es Mafkir und gibt über an anderen, die Aschinuch von ihren Kindern, das soll getan werden durch einen anderen, weil das ist Messias Nefesh. Wenn er geht zur Mutter, war merciless Nefesh, noch Lemailo mit merciless Nefesh. Wir hier rotzen, dass der erste Reinkehr soll sein. Und denke von mir, ja, die Mamos, aber soll versporen, fragen Scheiles, versporen, fragen Kasches und versporen umkommen zu merciless Nefesh, bepascht von Aiden. Allah es kam von einer Mutter, von lebendigen Kindern, was soll meilig Jomen wie schon im Tevi sein. Und wir wissen nicht, wenn sie besser sein mit Seher und Neshome Beguf, die hier rotzen, also versprochen reden oder allein Teke vom Yad, die Gula Hamitis war schlimm, war Kiste, war alle noch Schechen die Opfer. Und die umgekommen, Al-Kiddush Hashem wird sein Teke vom Yad, wie bald da die Tzadikim, mit seinen Rishenim, wo sie seinen kommen mit Trias Hamesim, dass sie so sein Teke vom Yad mit den lebendigen Kindern. Und es können Mamschel sein in sehr Chinuch mit sich Simcha Betuv Livo, wie hier rotzen, also sein Teke vom Yad Mamos, weil Yikwa Mafilo Keheref Ai.
The Rebbe felt it was his tragedy. His Pesya Leah Lapine. Why was she here in Crown Heights with her husband? Only because of the Rebbe. And I think the Rebbe felt he took achrayus, responsibility, that she wouldn't even have been here. And the Rebbe put himself on the line. He didn't just make it like, it was his problem. And you have to know there's a great strength in that. It's sad on one hand, but on the other hand, you're not alone. In this journey of life, you want to know you're not alone.
So the words gave me something to live for and to inspire me to, keep my family going as she was still around.
The Rebbe was then talking about how this is a time of Geula. It's a time when all darkness can be transformed into light. And then the Rebbe felt that ultimately in the pain there was an invitation, there was a spark that had to be exploited.
How do we take all this and turn it into something great and positive?
A mikveh is that sacred Jewish institution that is responsible for the Jewish tomorrow, that is responsible for the Jewish future. The center of life is not in the shul. Center of life is in the home, in the kitchen, in the living room, in the dining room, in the bedroom, because that's where the future is molded. That's where the future is created.
He went to a place that doesn't have a big crowd. It's a small community. And he moved to that community to show that Yiddishkeit belongs everywhere and the Rebbe's message has to reach everyone. And he does it so profoundly, eloquently, and turns Yiddishkeit into a thing that people want to do.
So this mikvah that we envision to have will give us the opportunity that we could teach other Jewish people about this foundation, this mitzvah. The pleasure of the neshama, the nachas ruach that my mother would, the neshama will have from mikvah, which the idea of mikvah is bringing life into the world, is English shari. I can't even imagine, can't even think about it.
At the end of the day, it's not just remembering. We build a living memorial by the good deeds that we do inspired by her.
This matters not only to our children, but to our grandchildren and to great-grandchildren and to future generations. So I think that it's a tremendous chus for every chassid that loves to do the ratzon of the Rebbe, and everyone does, to participate in this in a meaningful way.